Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card reading, we are going to be finding out what is happening for you in the rest of 2023. At the time that this video goes up, it will be pretty much exactly halfway through the year. But this is a timeless reading as long as you're watching it in 2023, I guess. So whenever you happen to come across this video, we're gonna see what will be happening for you from right now, the time you're watching, until the end of 2023. This video feels weird because 2023 went by so quickly, but then also when I think about doing the last one, like the rest of 2022, that feels like a million years ago, and so much has changed since then. How are you guys feeling? Does it feel fast? Does it feel slow? Time is weird. Anyway, so there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today, and I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is rose quartz. Number 2 is aquamarine. Number 3 is raw opal. And number 4 is Prasiolite. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so if you guys chose the rose quartz, this is going to be a reading all about the rest of 2023. So we are going to start off the reading with these oracle cards. This pile is going to represent your current situation, and this pile is going to represent the situation that you will be in at the end of this year. And so we're going to compare these two energies, and that will let us know what is changing for you by the end of this year. It is 11:11 right now. I just saw on my air conditioner clock. Anyway, so let's get into it. For your current situation, we have mending, small steps, big accomplishments, relationship, the way you are connected and related to something or somebody, including yourself. And we have lightning bolt, and it says inspiration opens the door. And 111 on the camera timer. Okay, so for your end of year situation, we have peace, almost there, align, to connect deeply, to return to proper course, to live in your truths. And we have the goddess of water, and it says you are a healer of the heart. Okay, let's look at this mending and peace. These two cards are beautiful together because it looks like in your current situation, there's something that you are in the process of healing and working through, and by the end of the year, you will be completely in a state of peace. So for some of you, you could be healing an insecurity within the rest of this year, or you could be getting over a painful or traumatic event from your past. There's a feeling of you making peace with what had happened and finding peace within yourself. This could be you finding closure, being able to forgive yourself or someone else. And it just feels like the things that were troubling your heart, they won't be troubling you as you are moving out of 2023. I also want to point out that there are 2 people on this card, and it looks like they're working together to heal something. For some of you, you could be mending your relationship with a person in your life. So we do have this relationship card here. If that resonates with you, like if you're in a conflict with someone or a separation with someone and you are wanting to patch things up with them, I think that this is a really good sign. Of course, this could also be you mending the relationship that you have with yourself, with with your body, or just with someone in your life. Another interpretation of two people here, it could be that a big part of your healing will come from sharing with your loved ones, or the support that you receive from loved ones. That you don't have to go on this journey alone. So if it's not that you're necessarily repairing a relationship with someone, these two people could also be indicating that, you're going on your respective healing journey. Your loved ones are working on themselves too. They're on their own journey. And the insights that you provide to each other and the support that you provide to each other really helps you to move along. And I just think with this emphasis on relationship, it's that not only are you going to be finding a beautiful inner peace by the end of this year, but those around you will as well. I just see you being in a very peaceful and harmonious environment. Next, we have small steps, big accomplishments, and we have almost there for your end of year energy. So for those of you who are working towards a goal right now, or working towards like building a new habit or reaching some kind of significant achievement, I definitely think that your higher self wants you to know the slow and steady approach is the best. Or if you are doing things slowly right now, that is the right way to do it. So don't feel pressured like you should be doing more faster, or that you're like behind schedule or anything like that. I think you're exactly where you need to be. For those of you who had a goal that you're like, I want to achieve this by the end of the year, whether that's like a professional goal, a creative goal, a fitness goal, something to do with like a skill that you're working on, an educational goal, and you were thinking like you want to get that done by the end of the year, with almost there, clarifying this card, it kind of looks like you will not exactly reach the goal by the end of this year because you are taking a slower approach, but that you will have made significant progress and that you will almost be there. I can use running as an example. I like running, so it's easy to me. Like, let's say you had a goal that I want to be able to run 10K without stopping by the end of this year. But then you decide to take a slower approach to your training, life is lifing, or you're just being more gentle. And so maybe by the end of the year, you can run like 8 or 8.5 kilometers, or I don't know, maybe miles if you're American, or some other country that uses miles, I don't know, without stopping. So you're pretty much where you want to be. You might not be exactly at the finish line, but you have made significant progress in this goal by the end of the year compared to where you are now. And I honestly think that you're fine with not being where you originally planned to be, because you're allowing for life to just happen, Some of you, even just looking at this globe here, I got the example of maybe someone was like, I want to have this much money saved up in my bank account by the end of 2023. But then like they get this amazing opportunity to go on a trip, which is going to put them behind financially. But they're like, I'm not going to not go on the trip, just because of this like arbitrary number that I want to hit, or like, this goal can wait. I don't think this is like oh no, I'm falling behind. It feels like a deliberate choice to slow down and be like, this goal can wait. And I don't necessarily have to do it by 11:59 p.m. on December 31st. Like it can be, if it happens in January, if it happens in February of next year, that's fine. Like, I want to slow down a bit and enjoy my life. I want to go on this trip, or I want to train a little bit more gently, or whatever it might be for you guys. Also, just notice that we have the number 8 here, and then we have the number 44. So it's kind of like the number 8 split into 2. So maybe the reason that you are achieving a goal slower than you originally thought is because you're throwing something else into the mix, and now your efforts kind of divided between those two things. So in the case of like the running example, maybe now you're also learning how to play guitar. And so you're like, I'm not spending as much time running as I am before because I'm also doing this other activity that I enjoy. Like you're kind of splitting your attention or splitting your efforts, and that's totally fine, right? We're still going to get everything done, just at a slower pace. When you get to the end of this year, you might look back at the goals that you originally had and you're like, nope, I am not quite there yet, but it's very, very fine. Okay, so next we have relationship for your current energy and align for your end of year energy. So what this tells me is that by the end of this year, you are getting closer to someone that you want to get closer to. Again, this could be yourself, like you're aligning with yourself. It could be that you are getting together with a person of interest that you currently have, that you are getting closer with someone you want to be friends with. There's the feeling of you, the person you want to get close to, and you are aligning. You're aligning in the way that you have desired to, essentially. You're getting your desired outcome in this relationship. Even if you're already in a committed relationship and you just desire to get to know your partner better or get closer with them, or maybe you desire to reach the next level of the relationship with them, whether that's like moving in together or engagement or even marriage, you're aligning with the type of relationship that you desire to have with someone, which is beautiful. And maybe it even kind of goes back to this mending card for some of you. Like you've been wanting to repair a relationship with someone, and it doesn't even have to be like conflict related. Maybe there's like a friend in your life that you kind of drifted apart from and you've been wanting to realign with them. You've been wanting to reconnect with someone. That sort of alignment is going to be possible. You're getting the kind of relationship you want with the person that you want. So that's good. And then finally, we have this lightning bolt, and then we have the goddess of water. And I'm noticing the contrast between these two energies. Like this feels very, like the eyes are red and it feels very like shocking and jarring. And then this one feels very calm, and soothing. There is an overall feeling of you guys slowing down and having more inner peace. So something that might be happening within you guys in the rest of this year is that you're shifting out of kind of like a fast-paced, highly strung, frazzled, maybe anxious kind of energy, and you're entering into a much more peaceful energy. And I think that comes from deliberately slowing down. A dear friend of mine just got me this book, and it's at my boyfriend's house right now. I would show it to you if I had it, but it's like the little book of sloth philosophy, I think it's called, and it helps us to live more like a sloth. And it's such a lovely book, and I am of course reading it slowly. But yeah, I think you're choosing to live like a slower, gentler life, and that is bringing you more peace. It may even bring you more inspiration. For those of you who are creatives, for those of you who make things, living more slowly could bring more like eureka moments of inspiration for your projects. But even if you're not someone who makes things, this way of living could connect you more to your intuition and bring you more downloads, because you don't have so much chatter in your mind. There's also, I just heard like, I don't need pressure to get started. So maybe like in your current energy, you kind of need to feel that pressure or stress or anxiety, like to motivate you to do stuff, almost like a negative motivation. Whereas in your end of year energy, you take initiative and you start things just like from a place of genuine desire. Maybe that's what that message means. What was it? I don't need pressure to start things. It just kind of feels less like there's a fire under you, and you're like, I know that I have enough time to get everything done, and I can do this when I want to, like no pressure. Everything will get done. And in this moment right now, I'm exactly where I need to be in terms of like the progress that I've made. It just feels more like you're going with the flow, I guess is a simple way to put it. Inspiration opens the door. You are a healer of hearts. If you do get inspiration to start a project or to make something, I think you should definitely listen to it, because whatever it is that you're making or whatever it is that you're doing, it could be instrumental to many people's healing. Your healing journey could also create a shift in the things that you feel motivated to do. This change of you being like, it's okay if it doesn't get done this quickly. It's okay if I don't reach this goal. That might also come from a place of healing, because there may have been some wound or insecurity that was like constantly applying pressure to you to do more and to do more faster, maybe tied into feelings of self-worth. So I kind of feel like this all ties together. But let's get into the tarot now, and we're going to look at any other specific events or changes that you should know about in the rest of the year. What does group number 1 need to know about the events coming in the rest of 2023? Okay, we're starting with the 10 of coins. Lovely. This is such a beautiful deck. Then we have the 9 of swords. We have the 8 of coins. And we have strength. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Coins. Okay, I do want to mention there is Leo energy here with the Strength card. We also have Virgo Sun with the 8 of Pentacles. And then Earth sign energy here with the Knight of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. And then we also have Gemini and Virgo energy here. So with the 10 of coins here, in the rest of 2023, many of you guys could be, it feels like you have laid a very solid foundation for yourself, or you are in the process of laying a solid foundation for yourself so that you can achieve your professional goals, your material goals, your financial goals, as well as goals related to your living situation and your family. Both the 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles do give me the feeling of small steps, big accomplishments, because these are very much like energies of building up slowly and steadily. Showing up consistently for something, but working at a moderate pace or at a moderate rate so that you can sustain your efforts and so that you don't burn yourself out. With the 9 of Swords here as well, this is about like worries and anxiety. So I feel like some of you guys have dealt with this feeling of like you've been working really, really hard or trying to like pick up the pace to work towards a goal because there's this thought in your head that like if I slow down if I slow down, I'm gonna like lose momentum and I'm gonna fall behind and then I'm not gonna achieve my goal. And I think a big lesson that you're learning in the rest of this year is that slowing down is actually going to be more sustainable. Because if you keep like, what do you call it? Overexerting yourself. I was gonna say like maxing out, maxing out your energy levels and draining yourself. Like that is a recipe for burnout. And then oftentimes that takes you out for a long time. And it can ironically put us even farther behind than if we had just taken a slower and more moderate approach. This is even something I see like in running. I'm like, I gotta go fast so that I can reach my goal. But if I go too fast, then I end up dying halfway through and like I can't get back into it. Whereas if I had just paced myself from the start, I probably would have reached the goal that I was trying to reach. So slow and steady wins the race. Very true statement, and something that your higher self wants to bring to your attention. And, you know, being that turtle who's going slowly and steadily, it can be hard to stay committed to that when you see hares around you or people who are pretending to be hares, like going really fast and achieving all these things. I know that there's pressure. There's pressure from society, there's pressure from ourselves to like pick up the pace and do more. But I promise you that everything you want to get done can and will get done. And you may reach your goals later than what you originally thought, but you will still reach them. And you will not be burnt out when you reach them. When you reach that finish line, you'll be like, I could go for another lap because you took your time. You took time to rejuvenate. You took time to rest. You took time to reflect, which is super important when you're working to intersperse that with quiet moments of reflection. Like, am I still happy with this goal? Am I still happy with the direction things are going in? Do I need to, adjust the sails a little bit? You're gonna love the slow approach. I feel like this reading is a sales pitch for taking it slow and embracing the slow life. And through the little efforts that you put in day after day after day, what I'm seeing is that you are setting yourself up to be in a great financial situation. Oh, I also want to say with all of these, for those of you who are like investing your money, I'm not a financial advisor. I want to make that disclaimer, but it might be good to consider like longer term investments that are low risk. They may not make you a millionaire overnight, but those things that are more secure and that are more long term. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I just want to make that very clear. But what I see here is that kind of energy. We're looking in the long term. We're looking to build things up slowly over time rather than, like reach your goal overnight or get rich quick. Like we're kind of avoiding those energies is what it looks like for the rest of this year. I think that you'll be in a good place financially at the end of this year. It looks like you have a healthy amount of savings and you're well on your way to reaching a goal, whether that's like having a certain amount saved or perhaps like paying off a debt. It looks like you are well on your way towards that. I also just got a message about like an exam, that you may be ready to take an exam. So if you're currently studying for one, your higher self, I think, wants you to know that you are ready. Maybe you feel like, no, I need to study more and more and more. But I feel like even with the knowledge that you have now, you could do pretty well. Or if you're thinking of like applying to take an exam, maybe your higher self is starting to gently nudge you to do that. It could be a good experience for you just to like show yourself that you can do it. Or maybe like a certain certificate that you get from an exam could help you in your career down the line. Yeah, something about taking an exam just came up and like you're being encouraged to do that. Interesting. If there's any family members that you're worried about as well, I feel like everything is going to be okay. And I feel like someone's going to surprise you with how much of a tough cookie they are and how much of a fighter they are. Like someone close to you is getting through a tough situation. Oh, what was that? I don't know if you can hear the people outside. Like if you hear that guy just like, hi. Usually that's like when a truck is backing up. There's like a guy behind the truck like, hi, like you can keep going. But that's funny. Hi means yes, by the way, so maybe that was a confirmation. Like, yup, everything's gonna be fine. You may be really worried about someone that you care about, but it's like, no, they're gonna be okay. Like they're tough, they're independent, they're a tough cookie, they got this. I just thought of the energy of like, well, I'm not a parent, but I imagine if your child like moves away for college, you could feel nervous. Like I hope they're gonna be okay, and like it's just scary to have them far away. And it's like, no, come on, like your child's tough, they're independent, they're smart, like they got this, they're gonna do great. Yeah. This is like a message of reassurance that a loved one that you may be worried about, like they're going to do a great job, they're going to perform beautifully, or they're going to recover beautifully, or whatever it might be. Definitely also see significant progress for you in a certain skill that you are working on. You're becoming more comfortable within a skill. And taking a slow approach here is also going to be helpful. This might be a period where, like if you're working on a skill, that you want to kind of go back and review what you had learned before. I know that it's really like exciting to just keep moving on to the next level and like move on to more advanced things, but sometimes it's also good to just like review what you've already learned, because you can forget it, you know? Like I'm thinking of someone learning a language and they're like, okay, I want to like go to the next vocabulary. I want to go to the next chapter of the textbook. I want to like move to the next level of advancement, and the guidance for them being like, maybe you want to, you know, check that verb conjugation again, or check that basic grammar again, just so that you can really, because I know that you know it in your head, but there's a process between like, I know this in my head and I can use this confidently without thinking. I know this like the back of my hand. So there may be more like elementary levels to the skill you're learning that you just want to go back and do over and over and over and over, because that's the way it's coming through. It's like, I know you know them like theoretically, but you're being encouraged to just like do it over and over until you can put it into practice with ease, and like you don't have to think about it. And if you build that really strong foundation with the elementary stuff, when you do move to the more advanced level, it's like those advanced skills have a sturdy base to stand on top of. Like when I was learning Japanese, I was like that. I think it's the Aries in me. I just wanted to keep like rushing forward to more and more and more stuff. And it was really weird because like I would know all these random advanced words, but then not like struggle having an everyday conversation with someone. It was like completely backwards, you know? You start from one and go up from there. Obvious, but sometimes we're like, okay, I get it. Like I know that. I just want to go to the next thing. And I feel like there's an encouragement to just do a lot of reviewing and like make sure you're really good before you move on to the next level. Really get like a firm grasp on your stuff. This could also help with nerves. Like if you guys are nervous when you are performing this skill, whether that's like speaking your target language with someone, performing an instrument in front of people, writing an exam, like just practicing, even if you're like, oh, I already know this, but just like practicing it over and over and over, that could be a huge help for like nerves or anxiety that you experience when performing this skill. So getting really, really comfortable in a skill of yours, I think is also something that is happening by the end of this year. The Strength card is also making me think of companion animals because, you know, in very many Strength cards, including this one, we have like the human and the animal who are together. Sometimes there's a lady like caressing a lion. So there could be a message about companion animals for you guys by the end of this year. You could be welcoming one into your home, or like visiting them from your childhood home or something of that nature. But there's an animal who's close by you for the rest of this year. Strength, I think, makes sense here because it's about releasing harsh judgments of yourself. And I do think that this is a period where you're realizing how much inner strength you have, and actually that your greatest strength, or one of your greatest strengths, is your ability to remain gentle and to remain soft after the crap that you have been through, to remain compassionate, to remain hopeful, to remain loving, even after you have been on the receiving end of so much of the opposite of love, the opposite of compassion, the opposite of softness, and yet you still bravely choose to keep your soft heart, to keep your empathy, to keep your sensitivity. That is one of the greatest strengths that you have. And that's like, you're a healer. Your pure heart is going to heal others. Something that may also happen in the rest of this year is you are awakening to a calling of yours as a healer, or maybe you're beginning to take steps towards this. Something that you can share, sharing your skills, like we've been talking about, sharing your ideas, sharing your spiritual gifts. There's something you can share that would assist in others' healing. And your focus might be shifting more to that in the rest of 2023. Making that more of your priority, or just having it more in your mind, like, how can I share of myself to heal others? And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Coins, and I don't want to be a broken record, but this is very much about like a slow and steady journey, making consistent efforts over time. Something that also comes to me with the Knight of Pentacles is embracing a journey that is not linear. I don't know if that's necessarily like a traditional interpretation of the Knight of Pentacles. It's just something that comes up for me a lot, like over the years as I've read it. Embracing that you're not a robot that is gonna output the same results all the time, or whose growth is going to be this like pin straight line all the time. That's just not human. Humans have cycles in their life. They fluctuate. They're impacted by emotions and by events that happen in their life or events that happen in the world. Like there's so many factors playing on you, and like there's so many stimulations around your being all the time. And to think that in the midst of all of that, you need to stay this robot that makes linear progress, like that's just silly. And you're setting yourself up for like being disappointed in yourself if you're like, my little flesh suit must behave like a machine. And it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to change your goals. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to fluctuate. It's okay to have like conflicting emotions or conflicting beliefs, like, because you're organic matter. You are not a rigid machine. Grounding yourself and just reminding yourself of your humanity and reminding yourself of your imperfection, I think will also be a journey of yours in the rest of this year. But one other thing I want to say with this camel, I'm just thinking of how camels can walk through the desert for a long time without water. So In the rest of this year, I feel like there's some thirst. There's some thirst in you that is being quenched. Maybe it is the thirst for healing. Maybe it's the thirst for a certain relationship. But there's a feeling that you are getting a desire that you have been craving for a long time. And that you've gone for a long time without, just out of sheer strength. And it's about time that you fulfill this desire. There's a feeling like you've gone too long without something. You've gone without something that you shouldn't have gone without. Maybe it's even rest, you know? Just, there's a feeling of like, just because you're okay alone, just because you're okay on your own, it doesn't mean that you should be or have to be alone. Just because you can work for 12 hours nonstop, it doesn't mean that you should or that you have to. Just because maybe you could theoretically go 2 days without drinking water, it does not mean you should. When it comes to like how much strength you have in you, or like what your limits are in terms of exerting yourself, I think we're starting to discern between like, can I and should I? Or can I and do I have to? Can I live the rest of my life happily, like without the relationship I want? Yeah, sure, maybe. But I also can very much receive and enjoy this relationship. I've gone without this thing that I really want for a long time, but I don't have to anymore. Whatever that might be. You're this camel who has walked through the desert. And I know it's such a weird way to say it, but there's a thirst for you that is being quenched by the end of this year. So finally, we are going to get your loved one messages. We're going to start with an angel who is watching over you. What angel is currently with group number 1 who would like to make themselves known and deliver them a message? We have Rick Biel, who is number 29 and is ruler of the divine chariot and the 4 winds: storm, tempest, hurricane, and gale. We have movement, dynamic action, coordination, teleportation. Maybe there is travel happening for you in the rest of this year. Obviously, you're not going to teleport there, probably not, but I'm just thinking of the example we had like with the turtle and the globe, and then like chariots make me think of movement, of like relocation or displacement, I think is the word. So some of you guys could be traveling, or you could be like moving house or moving offices or something like that. Movement, dynamic action, coordination, teleportation, proud, fights, chaos, and wins. I like that. We're definitely moving into a less chaotic life, a more comfortable and peaceful life. I shelter you from storms and show you how to utilize your Merkaba to become a chariot of the divine power. And then we have smoky quartz, which is a lovely stone. If you guys collect crystals, or if you feel called to, smoky quartz might be a nice crystal for you. We have full moon. The next full moon from whenever you are watching this could be significant. I think at the time that this is up, well, I don't know when you're watching this, but at the time this is up, we will have just had a full moon. But the next one could be an important time for you. Car honking outside is a confirmation. So next full moon from whenever you're watching this. And then we have go. This is your sign to go for it. This is your green light. For those of you who have been asking yourself, should I do it? Should I go for it? Should I do that thing? Should I go talk to that person or whatever it is? your angel is telling you to go for it. This is your sign to do it. Okay, and then we will get a message from a loved one of your choice. We're gonna use the Spirit Cats Oracle deck to do this. So as I'm shuffling this, just keep in mind the loved one that you would like to hear from again. Or did I say this in the beginning? Maybe not, I don't remember. But this could be like the higher self of someone in your life. This could be like a spirit guide. This could be a passed on loved one, whoever it is that you would like to hear from. I seriously don't remember if I said this in the intro or if I just jumped into it. But anyway, let's get the message from your loved one. Keep them in your mind as I'm shuffling. What does group number 1's loved one want to tell them? So this is the spirit cat that came out. Oh, their name is Lucy. Okay, and they are bringing the message of freedom. Meet Lucy. She is awake even in her dreams. One of her favorite things to do is fly in a lucid dream. It is the most natural, free, and expansive feeling. You can go to outer space, imaginary lands, deep under the sea, to the top of Mount Everest, even through the earth itself, propelled simply by the power of your mind and your will. This little kitty is calling you to embrace that unbound freedom of flight and dreams. What is your wildest dream? Your craziest, most heart-expanding, joy-filled plan A. If you were completely free, what would you do? So, the first thing I think your loved one wants you to know is that perhaps they have been dreaming about you or even visiting you in dreams. You may have had lucid dreams where you are with this loved one, or they're letting you know that that is a possibility for you. You can meet them in your dreams. You can have a very conscious, lucid experience with them that is meaningful to you even in your waking life. But I think this loved one also wants to remind you that you can accomplish anything in this life. And they want to see you do that. They want to see you achieve your plan A, not your plan B, not your plan C, your plan A. And you can do this just through your willpower, through the power of your mind, through your power as a divine creator. You can experience your number one choice, desired reality, and they want to remind you of that. They may want to prompt you to think about if you knew that you could achieve anything, if you knew that you could have your plan A, that you didn't have to settle, what would your life look like? So this is a loved one who really wants to see you reach your full potential and live your happiest life and feel liberated. Feel like you can do whatever you want in this world. If this is someone, actually it doesn't matter if they're on earth or not, because they will be watching you and supporting you and cheering you on. So my group number 1s, these are all the messages I have for you for the rest of your 2023. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find my pick a card readings on Instagram, many of which are timeless. My pick a card videos on Patreon, which are just like these, also timeless, except for you guys get to choose the topic for those ones. You can check out my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. And you can also check out my latest release link down below. And finally, I have merch at kinotarot.com. I also have a vlog channel at Kino Vlogs. So all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It means so much to me. Thank you for being here, my lovely group number 1s. I am sending so much love to you, to anyone who may be playing a role in the rest of your 2023. And I'm sending lots of love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your whole spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number twos. So if you guys chose the Aquamarine, this is going to be a reading all about the rest of 2023. I just wanted to quickly go over everything we're going to cover in this reading because I think I forgot to do that for group number one. But we're going to start off by taking a look at your current situation as well as the situation that you will be in at the end of 2023. And we're going to sort of compare those two energies to see what is changing for you in the rest of this year. And then we're going to get into the tarot and see more events or changes that you need to know about for the rest of this year. And then to finish off the reading, we're going to get a message from an angel who is currently watching over you, as well as a message from a loved one of your choice. So that will be up to you who you would like to hear from. But I did want to mention to you guys, Archangel Michael is definitely with you because I finished filming group number one and then I was taking a little break before starting this one. And during that time, the doorbell rang and it was an Archangel Michael candle being delivered. And I just saw 111 when I finished that thought. So yeah, he is definitely with you and he may show you repeating ones or repeating numbers to let you know that he's with you. So without further ado, let's get into your reading. I also just got a message that there is someone, like you have a secret admirer or maybe not so secret, or there's someone who is currently crushing on you, someone who has feelings for you. Okay, so for your current situation, we have the tribe, inner truth, purge, to destroy, to cleanse, to renew, to eradicate and transform. And we have the goddess of earth. And this says, this card is asking you to receive because the goddess of abundance is blessing you. And then for your situation at the end of this year, we have to the sea, nourishment while waiting, lead, to be the role model, to set an example, to facilitate, to show the way, to steer towards the right direction. And then finally, we have shapeshifter. And this card is asking you to change because it is time for a beautiful, big transformation. Group number two, your spiritual team definitely communicates to you a lot through angel numbers or through numbers that are relevant to you, because while I was laying out these cards, there were several instances where I would be holding a card up to the camera and the number that would appear on the camera timer was like a specific number that is relevant to me, like that has a particular meaning. So what I can tell you guys is pay attention when you feel strongly drawn to someone or something, because there is a very important reason for that. And I can also tell you that you are very much in the process of becoming the person that you are destined to be. This is a group who is definitely aware of their destiny and in alignment with their destiny. Or you are becoming aware by the end of this year. So let's start with the tribe and to the sea. There's a couple different ways that I can interpret this. One is that some of you in the rest of this year, you may be physically moving away from your home or from the place that you have been living for the past while. Or you could be physically moving away from some people that you care about, which could be a little bit bittersweet. Some of you may be actually moving very far away. But I'm just looking at this. It looks like a parent giraffe that is like kissing their baby giraffe goodbye, and they're about to embark on a big journey. So there is a feeling of you it could also be that someone in your life is moving away from like the city where you have lived together, or someone is leaving your hometown, but there's kind of like a bittersweet farewell with loved ones. It's not really goodbye. It just looks like someone is going off to pursue an opportunity that has been granted to them, or like they're just gonna be away from home for a while. Even like this is a hotel and we have a boat, so there's a feeling of traveling. Maybe we are living out of a hotel for a while, or like we're backpacking, we're going on a big journey that's going to take us away temporarily from like our home base or from the people that we're used to seeing every day. That is one way to interpret this. Another way, which is quite a bit different, is that some of you guys in the rest of this year, and maybe this is something you're already experiencing, will find that there is some group or community that you have belonged to that you don't really resonate with anymore. And while you may have enjoyed the element of community, I feel like you're coming to a place where you're like, I would rather be alone than to be associating with these people or surrounded by these people who I just don't really vibe with anymore. Some of you may even be like actively against this group or this community now, and you're like, ugh, like I don't want to be involved in this anymore. For others of you, and I think this is most of you, you're like, no hard feelings, like I still have love and respect for this group. I just feel like I'm changing, which we'll get into that. I just feel like I'm changing, and maybe I've kind of outgrown this community, or, you know, I just don't really see myself fitting in this group anymore. And while part of me is afraid to let go of that sense of belonging and that, you know, sense of community, I feel like I may be better off alone right now. So some of you might be like distancing yourself from a group. And I do want to mention this could be an in-person group of people, but it could also be like a virtual community that we're kind of just leaving. There's cars honking outside, so that's a confirmation. Maybe we're like unfollowing something where like there is a community where there's a whole culture to it and like a whole way that people think, and we're like, like I'm just gonna do this on my own, or you know what I mean? Now let's talk about this inner truth and nourishment while waiting. These two cards actually make quite a bit of sense together, because both of them have to do with discovering who you were truly meant to be and becoming that person. So it's also interesting that we have an owl, which is a sign of intuition and inner wisdom. We have the number 7, which makes me think of psychic and spiritual abilities. I do feel like in the rest of this year, you guys are really developing a stronger connection with your higher self, and it is being revealed to you who you are meant to be. And you're really acquainting yourself with that destined version of you, remembering that destined version of you. Now with this nourishment while waiting card, this is a baby hawk. So this baby hawk is gonna, you know, grow into a adult hawk, and the mouse represents the baby hawk's nourishment. So this is a card that talks about nourishing ourselves and preparing ourselves to step into that version of, like, the version of who we're meant to be. I don't know why that wording was so hard for me, but it's like, okay, this is who I'm meant to be, this is who I want to become, and now how can I nourish myself and prepare myself so that I can become that version of me when the time is right? How can I prepare for my future blessings? How can I prepare to be the person that Spirit is asking me to become, is kind of the feeling. And I actually made quite a similar reading recently on this topic. Like, your big blessings are coming, your breakthrough is coming, and what should you do right now to prepare for that? It won't be that far back, like on my channel, if you guys want to check that out, or maybe you already have watched it, in which case, thank you very much. But an analogy that is coming to my mind is like someone who just found out that they're going to have a baby. And so they know that this beautiful blessing is coming, and what can they do in the meantime? They can like read parenting books, or they can talk to other parents, or they can figure out like how best to take care of their body and mind so that their baby can be healthy. Like there's all these things that you can do so that you can be best prepared to step into that new version of you, aka a parent. So I think that right now you guys are in the process of, it's like being revealed to you right now who you are becoming next. And for some of you, maybe these two energies are related. You know, this journey that you're embarking on is giving you that insight about who you're meant to become, or, you know, leaving this community gives you insight about who you're meant to become. Or maybe it's the other way around, that discovering who you're meant to become makes you realize that you need to leave some communities behind. But in any case, you are definitely on this journey of leveling up and transforming. There's a lot of that here. Like, we haven't even gotten to this yet. Transformation here, transformation here. Transformation is a big theme. And yeah, you're like the caterpillar who's eating as much as they can so that they can get into the cocoon and transform into the butterfly they were meant to be. And even with this goddess of earth, this is really a time to nourish your body, nourish your mind, nourish your spirit. With To the Sea, you may be wanting to spend a lot of time alone, like meditating, reading, learning as much as you can, sleeping, resting a lot, eating nourishing foods. You are literally like the caterpillar who is nourishing themselves to turn into a butterfly. Whew, that makes me so excited. Next, we have Purge and Lead. So in this process of transformation, there will definitely be things that we are getting rid of from our life, that we are walking away from. With Lead here, I feel like for some of you, this is talking about you initiating the changes that you want to happen in your life. So it's like if you want your life to change, then you're recognizing that you must take initiative and make changes first, and then your life around you will respond to those changes that you have made. It's like you're taking your transformation into your own hands. Another way that I can interpret this is that if you guys make the decision to get rid of something from your life, or to, you know, end a bad habit, or to quit something, you might actually inspire others around you. So I don't know, maybe you decide that you're going to quit drinking, and then a few people in, like a few of your friends are like, you know, I've been thinking of doing that too. And like, because you are doing that now and you have the courage to do it, that inspired me. You know what? I'm finally going to do it. Like, or like your decision to commit to yourself and get rid of what doesn't serve you. I have a feeling that it's going to inspire some of your loved ones, or like some of the people who are closely around you, because a lot of us are attached to things that are not actively serving us, or that are even to our detriment. And it can take a lot of courage to let go of the things that we have attachments to, even though they're not necessarily serving us. And so I think when you have the bravery to do this, like others around you who have been thinking of doing the same thing are finally going to get that push that they need. Like you are leading by example, which is really cool. There may be, I don't know if it's necessarily a change in your social circle, because I feel like the loved ones that you currently have are very much still going to be there. But there is some like larger community, or like collective way of thinking, or some culture that you're just like, I'm not messing with this anymore. But you're still holding on to those who are dearest to you. And I think it's those people who are growing with you and evolving with you. I don't really see, you know, like falling outs happening in your close circle, you know? I want to just make that clear. For those of you who are like afraid of that maybe happening, for most of you, I don't really see the need for that to happen. With that being said, of course, if there's someone in your life that you feel the connection is not working anymore, I'm not saying like you need to hold on to them, but For those of you who were like afraid, like, oh my gosh, walking away from a group, I hope that's not like my friend group, I hope that's not my family, like your loved ones are gonna stay your loved ones. I just wanted to clarify that. And then finally, we have the goddess of earth who is trying to bless you and asking you to receive. And we have the shapeshifter, which this is such a beautiful reiteration of like nourishing yourself so that you can transform. Some of you guys may be going through a physical transformation, a transformation in your physical or mental health, a transformation in your fitness or in your physique, in your appearance. Because this card kind of makes me think of the Empress. We have the number 33, and the Empress is the number 3 in tarot. And just this beautiful, abundant Mother Earth makes me think of the Empress too. And she's all about beauty. She's ruled by the planet of Venus. And then with shapeshifter, you know, it does make me think of like a physical glow up. You're transforming the way you look or the way you present yourself. You're feeling healthy and radiant from the inside out. So things look quite good in the physical sense for you guys for the rest of this year, like physical appearance, physical health, things of that nature. And this also makes me think of like manifestation and what blessings come your way. You may find that the more you change and the more you align with your inner truth, the things that you desire and the things that you value might also shift. The things that you place the most importance on might shift, and that might affect your material possessions, like the types of things you hold on to or value, or the types of things you don't really need anymore. In the rest of this year, you could be acquiring new material possessions, or you could be purging a lot of material possessions you feel you don't need anymore, or you could just be switching your possessions. But there does seem to be a change in like your physical body, but also in your material surroundings, because what you value or what you feel is important, or just like the objects that you want around you, are changing. I know that's kind of vague, but that's just how it's coming to me. There could also be something that even that you have very recently manifested, that suddenly you go through this shift and you might realize that it's not a fit for you anymore. And if that's the case for you, I want to say definitely, like, Mother Earth, the universe, like, she's so generous. She doesn't need a receipt. Whatever she gave you, like, you can return it. You can say, this isn't actually is a fit for me. This isn't actually serving me. Like, some of you guys, it's like you almost feel guilty that you manifested this blessing and it turned out to not be what you really wanted or what was really a fit for you. And you might almost feel ungrateful to the universe, as if it's like someone who got you a Christmas gift that you don't like and you want to exchange it. But the universe is saying it's not like that. You know, like, this happened for a reason. You received this blessing, and it still is a blessing, because even if it showed you what is not in alignment for you, even if it showed you what you don't want, that is still a blessing, because it is something that you have learned. And learning lessons is a blessing in itself. And you don't have to feel bad, because it's not like the universe is like, oh man, I'm out of a blessing now. Like, the universe is infinite. So if I can give a more concrete example, let's say you really, really tried to manifest a job, and then you got the job, but then like 2 months later, you went through a spiritual awakening and you're like, oh crap, I don't feel in alignment with this job anymore. You don't have to feel bad about that. You did not waste your wish on this job. You have infinite more wishes. You did not waste the universe's energy on bringing you this job, because the universe has infinite energy. And you did not waste this experience, because even having this happen to you and realizing, like, this is not what I want anymore, is an opportunity to learn about yourself and an opportunity for redirection. So I guess I just want to say, like, if your desires shift, or like if something you once wanted isn't what you want anymore, Like, making changes in your life is hard enough. You don't have to make it harder by feeling guilty or feeling like, what if I'm ungrateful to the universe, or feeling bad that like I was wrong, I manifested the wrong thing. Like, we live and we learn, and that's why the universe is here for us. So just if you're having a realization like that, I hope that you can be gentle with yourself, is I guess what I want to say. But with that being said, let's get into your tarot now and see what other events are coming your way by the end of this year. We have the Devil, the Four of Cups, the Knight of Coins. That came out for group number 1 as well. Interesting. And we have the Ace of Cups, and then at the bottom of the deck we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so this version of you that you are becoming, this is already within you. You know, if you're transforming into this was always inside you. You are becoming such a ray of sunshine, and you are becoming someone whose confidence is infectious. And, you know, I was feeling that with this lead card, that this transformation you're going through, you know, just by going through it, you are leading by example. When someone comes through as the Knight of Wands, it makes me feel like they are an inspiration. Like, they're an inspiration to so many, that they shine their light brightly for everyone, that they are confident, that they are happy, that they have a good sense of humor. I pick up that as well. I feel like you're becoming someone who just lives life to the fullest and goes after what they want. It's like you're more active, or you're more enthusiastic. When an opportunity to try something new presents itself, you just like go for it to enjoy the experience. Like an enthusiastic go-getter who just loves life and lives it to the fullest. I feel like you may be coming out of this year feeling a lot more physical energy, feeling a lot lighter, feeling like your mood is much better, and having more motivation and energy, like to do the things that you want to do. You know, sometimes like there's a lot of things that you like the idea of doing, but then when it comes to like having the physical energy to do it, or having the motivation to do it, we just like, sometimes we're just too tired to do the things we want to do, or it feels overwhelming, or it feels daunting. And whatever has been holding you back from doing what you want to do, I feel like you are overcoming it. Because I feel like the Devil here is saying that you're freeing yourself from your shackles. And it could be so many different things, right? Like for some of you, it could have been a lack of energy, or a lack of health, or a lack of like mental energy, or a lack of confidence, or just other restrictions, even external restrictions that had been placed upon you that you couldn't do, you know, time constraints, rules and regulations, geographical constraints, whatever it might be. Those chains are being lifted from you so that you can freely do the things that you want to do. I hope, I mean, it is kind of broken record-y, but I would describe you as like energized and enthusiastic and just like, let's do it, let's go for it. You're becoming the type of person who, when you have an idea to do something, you immediately take action towards it. So if you're like, I really like, I want to learn, I want to take piano lessons, like, and then it just kind of sits there in the back of your mind for 6 months until you're like, maybe I'll finally look into it, which there's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes it's just not the right time. But I feel like you're becoming more the person who, you get hit with an inspiration and you just immediately dive into it. So you're like, yes, piano lessons, awesome. Immediately like get out your phone or open your laptop and you're like, piano lessons in my area. And you just like dive right into it and you book your trial lesson for next Thursday and like it's happening. There's just a feeling of you becoming the type of person that gets shit done. Is that? Yeah. And then more adventurous just in general, to explore new places, to meet new people. You could be becoming more like extroverted or more social. And I think this is directly related to just like an increase in your energy levels and an increase in your confidence. We're definitely getting over insecurities with this Devil card, or even if the insecurities are still kind of there, because a lot of the time they do like to lurk, you know? But even if they are still there, it's like they won't have the power to stop you from doing anything that you really want to do. So it's kind of like they're not even there anyway. Like they're just some random person in the corner that you're like, oh, don't pay attention to them. That's my insecurities. They show up sometimes, but they can't stop me and I'm still going to go do the things. Like that's your vibe. And that is going to be quite inspiring to others as well. There's also been, not just in like this reading, because this showed up in group 1 as well, but just readings that I've been doing recently. I think it's maybe a collective thing that a lot of us are going through, of just like rejecting the hustle and rejecting this fast-paced life and rejecting materialistic values and just living a slower life and living a life where we're more connected to our own inner truth rather than the truth that society imposes upon us, of like, this is what you should chase, this is what you should care about, this is what you should spend your finite time and resources on this earth caring about. And it seems like a lot of us are rejecting that at this point, because the Devil does also make me think of the hamster wheel of life, you know, just the endless grind to prove yourself to other people and to try to feel worthy from superficial things. The Devil does very much remind me of that, whereas the Four of Cups makes me think of like, you're seeing the value in yourself that you couldn't see before, at least in the context of this reading. Or you're seeing the beauty in life and the beauty in the little things that was more difficult to see before. The Four of Cups can talk about boredom, but I often interpret it as having free time, you know, because I know it's kind of a creative liberty, but they're kind of the same. Like usually when you're bored, it's because you have nothing to do. And then I just have interpreted that a lot as like having slow time, having free time, being able to do whatever you want with your time. So, and I said this for group 1 as well, but you could be kind of rejecting that hustle and that really like fast-paced life and just slowing down and going at your own pace and embracing stillness. And when you do have nothing to do, not immediately being like, you know, like, oh, I have 2 free hours in this day. What can I do during those 2 hours that's productive? Or like, you know, I have downtime. I better start learning a new skill. You know, you're just like, I have some downtime and I'm going to do whatever I want with it. Or maybe I'll do nothing with it. That is my prerogative. And I don't feel that pressure or guilt like that I need to fill every waking moment by building something or working on something or producing something. I'm okay with having nothing to do. I'm okay with doing nothing. That's kind of the vibe that I get with these two together. I'm also realizing now actually that this boredom could be directed at the, you know, the superficial things of life or the materialistic things of life. You know, there's maybe things that you used to care about a lot and that you used to pursue a lot that's just boring to you now. You're like, that is just boring to me. Like, for example, I used to care so much about physical appearances and what I look like, or I used to prioritize physical appearance so much in my partner, but now that's like, I just find that so boring. I don't care about that anymore. Like with the Ace of Cups too, it's favoring emotional fulfillment and emotional connection. And I can definitely say that there's great emotional fulfillment for you in the rest of this year. It's funny that there was that message I picked up on at the very start of the reading, like someone is into you, someone has feelings for you. With this Ace of Cups here, perhaps you do feel the same way about that person, because the Ace of Cups can indicate the emergence of a new relationship, of falling in love, like a new love journey. Of course, that can be self-love, but for those of you who are looking to fall in love, looking for romance, I just did want to remind you of that channeled message that popped up at the beginning, because that person who has feelings for you might be someone that you are into as well. But yeah, I think in the rest of this year, a big motivation for you is just aligning more and more with your inner truth and valuing emotional fulfillment more than material gain. I feel like there was something I wanted to say, but I can't remember anymore. Oh no, I hate when that happens. But if it's relevant, it will come back. And it's like right on the tip of my tongue. That's why it's frustrating. But anyway, the next thing that we are going to see is a message from an angel who is watching over you. Like we mentioned before, Archangel Michael is definitely with this group. But we'll see if there's anyone else who would like to make themselves known to you. What angel? Ooh. Okay, we have Azrael who is coming through with number 18. I do want to mention zodiac signs because I forgot to do that. But now that I look, I mean, we did have the Empress, so Taurus and Libra energy could be significant. And then we had the Devil, which is Capricorn energy. So Taurus, Libra, Capricorn, and then we also have Scorpio here. Those could be relevant. Like you could have those placements, or someone significant to you could have those placements. And then the number 18, it makes me think of the Moon card in tarot. So Pisces could also be significant. But Azrael is the angel of everlasting life, aids transition, acceptance, crossing over, comforter, transforms emotional pain. This angel could be currently helping you to connect with a loved one who is on the other side, or could be helping you to overcome from a recent loss or something that you have been grieving. During transition, separation, and loss, I give comfort and support. I also help you contact loved ones who pass. Oh, I should have just read the card. But anyway, we have calcite, which could be a good stone for you guys. I love calcite. It comes in so many different colors. I have this orange calcite right here, which I like to keep close to me. I think orange calcite is my favorite. I also have this orange calcite. This was a gift from ASO. Also, this is ASO's candle, by the way. Link in the description. But yeah, there's like blue, green, yellow, brown, red, pink, white. Like there's all kinds of calcite, and it has a very bright and vibrant energy, which is much like you guys, you know, this energy that I was picking up on. But this loved one who this angel is trying to connect you with, it could be a human. It could also be an animal for some of you, who wants to reach out to you, and this angel is facilitating that. We have a year or more. So for those of you who have like something big that you're trying to manifest right now, a wish that is very important to you. She's saying that this could take a year or more. And then with no, I think this is really an encouragement to empower yourself with the word no, to continue to say no to things that are not a match for you. And just from my own experience, I would like to put my 2 cents that learning how to say no is definitely not, it doesn't happen overnight. And it's not this thing where like, once you get it forever. I've become pretty okay at doing it, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, look at me having boundaries, and then I slip up again and say yes to something. So it's not like you just get it once and then that's it. I feel like it's something that you have to kind of constantly work on, especially if you've spent the majority of your life people pleasing or saying yes when you want to say no. It's definitely like a lifelong effort. Yeah. So next, we are going to get a message from your loved one. So if you have thought about the loved one you would like to receive a message from, just keep them in your mind as I'm shuffling. But yeah, I keep forgetting what I've said in the intro, but I think I said it for this group. This could be the higher self of a person you'd like to hear from. It could be a passed on loved one. It could be a spirit guide. It can be really anyone. Group number 2's loved one, what would you like to tell them? Okay, so we have this oracle card. This cat's name is Gala, and your message is tending the garden. Meet Gala. Her peculiar flowers bloom in the sun of her nurturing love and care. In a tucked away corner of the forest, she planted a few precious seeds. For months, she watered the earth and sang patient love songs. Above the surface, nothing appeared to be happening, so the other kitties didn't understand why she spent so much time in the overlooked spot. Eventually, delicate emerald tendrils peeked out of the soil. Gala loved and protected them until wondrous blossoms burst forth. What seeds can you nurture in your heart? What garden are you trying to grow? Wow, what a beautiful message. This reminds me a lot of, well, it reminds me a lot of what we've talked about in this reading, but the 7 of Pentacles in Tarot very much has this vibe, like to keep nurturing what you value, to keep believing in yourself, even when you're not getting immediate results, to keep showing up and to keep doing the work and to keep taking care of yourself. And eventually your garden will bloom. Eventually you will transform. This reminds me a lot too of the Nourishment While Waiting card, to the point that I kind of want to read this passage as well. And I also just remembered what I wanted to say to you guys when I drew a blank, and then I was like, if it's relevant, it will come up again. Why it's so important to align with your inner truth. You know, a lot of the times we question, is this relationship in alignment with me? This connection? Is this path in alignment with me? Is this right for me or wrong for me? Should I do this or not? And the more you show up as your authentic self, it becomes very obvious. Like, let's say you feel a connection to someone and you're like, is this connection for me? Is this connection in alignment with my highest good? Well, if every time you're with that person, if you show up as your truest self, and if you get along with that person, that means that that person is a match to your truest self. So showing up authentically is like the best thing you can do to figure out what is right for you and what is not. But yeah, let's read the Nourishment While Waiting card as well. So this loved one, definitely wants you to keep working towards the things that you believe in, and to keep taking care of yourself, and to keep watering your garden essentially, even if you don't see results right away. So this is the Nourishment While Waiting passage, and it's Baby Hawk. Hawk is a power bird with big medicine. Hawk is fearless, the visionary, the messenger, and the balanced one. Hawk is your highest self. Baby Hawk in this image represents the part of you with an overwhelming desire to step into who you are fully and fulfill your purpose. Mouse represents the nourishment Baby Hawk will need to develop into her most fulfilled self. Baby Hawk teaches us the wisdom of nourishment while waiting. This is a moment for patience. What will you do while you wait for your vision to manifest? The flower blossoms in its own time, but the gardener cultivates the seed's growth. The gardener ensures the seed's fullest development by nourishing it, pulling the weeds that threaten it, and planting the seed where it will receive the most sunlight. While you wait for the next step to be revealed, you must similarly prepare yourself for success. Baby Hawk needs to be nourished before she can achieve all her greatness as adult hawk, and this is why you must nourish yourself on every possible level. Ask yourself what skills your future self holds that you currently do not, then start researching and practicing them. Once you grow and develop these skills, you step into your highest self. Wise old hawk looks back on her past self and shares the medicine to not just wait in patience, but to learn while you wait. Stay persistent on your path toward growth and develop and strengthen yourself, for it is the consistent nourishment to become your greatest self that magnetizes you toward dreams unimaginable to you now. Wow, I feel like that's also a message from your loved one. Of course, I do not know which loved one you have intended to hear from, but I'm just thinking of baby hawk and adult hawk. Like it kind of gives me the feeling of like a parent or a grandparent or an older family member who is looking at you as this baby hawk with so much potential and just wants to nurture you and wants to help you grow into the person you were meant to be. Although if this is someone's higher self, like if this is the higher self of your love interest, maybe they're looking at you like a baby hawk because they just feel protective over you, or maybe that's how their soul is viewing your human self, you know, like a cute little sweet baby. But this person definitely has, like, even this, you know, mama giraffe and baby giraffe, they definitely have a protective vibe over you. Whoever they may be. But anyway, group number 2, those are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. And of course, I wish you an amazing rest of 2023. I wish you all the best, and please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find my pick a card readings on Instagram. I just saw that same freaking number. You remember I was talking about in the beginning, like there's certain numbers I relate to certain messages, and I was seeing a lot of those, and I just saw the same one that tells me like someone has feelings for you. So maybe that's who the loved one was. I don't know, but that message came up again. They would like to make that known to you. I forget what I was saying, but anyway, I have Instagram, I have Patreon, I have a music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. And you can also check out my latest release link down below. And finally, I have a vlog channel, KINO Vlogs, and I have merch at kinotarot.com, which all features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. So all that stuff is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means a lot to me, and just thank you for being here. Group number 2s, I'm sending so much love to you, to anyone who is playing a role in the rest of your 2023. I'm also sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your guardian angel, your whole spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number threes, so if you guys chose the raw opal, this is going to be a reading all about the rest of 2023. We're going to start off this reading by taking a look at your current situation as well as the situation that you're going to be in at the end of this year. And we'll sort of compare those two and see what changes you'll be going through in the rest of this year. And then we're going to get into the tarot and see any other specific events or changes that you should know about. And then we're going to finish off the reading with a message from an angel who is currently watching over you, as well as a message from any loved one of your choice. So without further ado, let's get into the reading. To start with your current situation, we have to be fair. It's in you. Conquer, to slay, to battle, to defeat, to overcome. And we have the sacred mountain, and this says, charge your energy at a power spot. And then for your energy at the end of the year, or your situation, we have Yang. You are what you think. Victimhood. How are you blaming the world for what had happened to you? How have you given up on your own agency and power? Alternatively, what painful experiences do you need to fully acknowledge in order to heal? And then finally, we have dolphins, and this card is encouraging you to share. Basically, the more you share, the more love will spread. Okay, so let's start over here with this to be fair and Yang. It's funny, this card reminds me of like Libra energy, and this card reminds me of Aries energy. It feels like you're coming more into an Aries energy as we move toward the end of the year. So in terms of what this means for you inwardly, I think that some of you may be moving from a more non-confrontational, avoiding conflict, or even afraid of conflict, perhaps even a people-pleasing kind of energy, into a more assertive energy. So something that I think many of you are working on for the rest of this year is establishing and maintaining your boundaries, and also really rooting, I think is the word, rooting the belief that your needs and your opinions matter just as much as anyone else's. I think this is something that you are learning in the rest of this year. How this energy could present externally for some of you is that actually your life is becoming more simple, that you actually don't have to be considering everyone else's needs, and you can more just focus on what you want to do. I'm sorry if that was a bit confusing, because I was like processing the messages and like figuring out how to word it as they were coming through. But basically there's two ways to interpret this, I think. One is that for some of you, you are working on your people-pleasing tendencies. You're working on like healing your fear of conflict or like a non-confrontational nature that you have, and you're learning how to assert yourself in social situations and be like, hey, I matter, my opinion matters. I can say yes when I want to say yes. I can say no when I want to say no. If someone's bothering me, I can confront them. If I need something, I can speak up about it. That's one way of interpreting this. And then the other one is that, let's say it's just the nature of your life that you have to be looking at what everyone is doing and consider what they might need. I feel like you're being relieved of some of that in the rest of this year, that you can just focus more on what you want to do. So this might look like you have less responsibilities. You have less things to juggle and balance in your life, and you can more just like pour all of your energy into one endeavor that you really want to focus on, or just like all your energy being poured out to other people is going to come back to you. and your new schedule and your new lifestyle is going to support that. I hope that that makes sense. I just feel like you're coming back more to yourself and using more of your energy and time and resources on yourself, and also really feeling like that matters and feeling like you can speak up when you need something. There's really a feeling of honoring yourself too with this lion. Like this lion is adorned in jewels. It almost looks like they're wearing a crown. This lion kind of looks like the Statue of Liberty to me as well, like the green spikes. Maybe I just don't know what the Statue of Liberty looks like, but that's what I think of when I look at this lion. So it does seem like you are being liberated from some responsibilities that were draining you, or from some dynamic with people around you that was draining you. And you may actually be the very one who frees yourself from this. Because I feel like with this conquer and victimhood and you are what you think, a lot of the main themes for you in the rest of this year is about recognizing that you have more power than you think, and then reclaiming that power. That a lot of things that might like give you stress in your life, you actually have power to make these things better by speaking up, by asserting yourself, by making the changes that need to be changed. Of course, there's always going to be external factors, and sometimes there are things out of our control. But I think what this reading really wants to tell you is that you are not completely powerless, and you have more power than you think in improving your situation, as well as in healing yourself. I even feel like this is going to improve your relationships. Like some of you guys, if you feel like being around people is draining, or like certain situations are draining, it may not be the situation itself or the person itself, but just the boundaries that are in place there. And so with you reclaiming your power, with you reclaiming your assertiveness, and with you establishing boundaries, you may actually be able to walk into those very same situations that you once found draining, or engage with those very same people that you once found draining, and it doesn't drain you anymore. That's what I feel with the mountain and these dolphins, because when I look at this mountain, I just thought of someone who's like running away to isolate. Like, I have to go off to this mountain to recharge because I'm so drained from daily life and from dealing with these people. Whereas then we have a transition to the dolphins, who are all sharing together and spreading the love and charging each other. So if you're the type of person who feels like you need to recharge after social interactions, which is very valid, by the way, but I think if you feel like particularly drained from certain interactions, or just drained from life, setting and maintaining your boundaries could be an amazing way to protect and conserve your energy, so that you can actually engage with the same things or with the same people, just in a different way, that now it does not drain you anymore. And you don't have to be like a victim to these draining situations, or just feel completely powerless to them. There are things that you can do to improve these situations. I think this is all about empowering yourself and remembering, and I think that really starts with remembering that you deserve to be empowered, that you deserve to be in charge in your life, that you deserve to feel better. Something that really helped me, like I still struggle with anxiety sometimes, but something that really helped me is realizing that I deserve to feel better, and that I deserve to be calm and peaceful, which is kind of sad when you think about it, because it means that there was some part of me that thought I didn't deserve to feel that way. And you know, that's a whole can of worms, but I think this all starts from you realizing like, I deserve to feel better in my day-to-day life, in my interactions. I deserve to, and I can, and there are things that I can do to make my life easier for me, and I should do those things. You will be claiming back a lot of energy in this way. This is amazing for those of you who have just felt like tired of life, who have just felt like drained. Maybe you find like, why do the smallest interactions drain me? Or like, why do the smallest tasks drain me? And I feel like this is healing itself, because you're not having these like holes in your energy field where energy is leaking out. You're really mastering the art of protecting and using your energy deliberately, and being your greatest advocate for like how your energy gets used and who gets access to your energy. So I would say you're coming out of this year empowered, energized, confident, and feeling a lot more at ease around people. Like from your interactions to strangers to even your closest relationships, feeling more at ease and secure within those relationships. So yeah, this is all about empowerment and assertiveness, and I love to see it. So let's get into the tarot now, and we're gonna see what specific events or changes you should know about in the rest of this year. My group number 3s, what do they need to know about that is happening in the rest of their 2023? We are starting with Temperance. The 6 of Wands, very nice. The 7 of Cups. And the 5 of Coins. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. Okay, I just want to point out zodiac signs that are present. These could be your placements, or if you know someone with these signs, then this could be an indication that they're going to be playing an important role in your life. So we have Sagittarius energy here with Temperance, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Pisces. Yes. So I actually want to talk about this 6 of Wands first. I feel like by the end of this year, first of all, this could be a reiteration of you feeling very confident and empowered. But I often see with the 6 of Wands, there is some significant achievement that you are reaching that is going to bring you a lot of recognition and admiration. And in some ways, you are feeling on top of the world, or like on top of your game, or this is like your best performance yet, this is your best work yet, or this is like the most recognition you've ever received. There's a feeling of people celebrating your success, people looking up to you, really admiring what you've done. This could also be you inspiring others, people wanting to emulate you. For some of you, you could be reaching a larger audience with what you're doing, which can be interpreted in many different ways. But for some of you, it could be that you are gaining fame. You're gaining fame or popularity for what you're doing. So like, gaining a social media following or gaining new fans, if that's something that applies to you, like you're really blowing up in that sense. But if fame doesn't really resonate with you and your path, this could also be like your client base is really expanding, or you are in high demand. Like there's a lot of people reaching out to you, wanting to book a session with you, or wanting to work with you, or wanting to interview you. It's like there's this feeling of you being in high demand, whether that's a lot of fans, a lot of followers, a lot of clients, a lot of like suitors even, like a lot of people who want to collaborate with you. You're attractive to everyone. It's kind of the vibe. You're attractive, you're in high demand, and some significant success of yours is really being celebrated. For those of you who are single, I feel like you could have a lot of people approaching you at this time. And honestly, even if you're in a relationship, there could be a lot of people approaching you because you're just attractive to a lot of people right now. And it's interesting that we spoke about you like becoming more assertive and standing up for yourself. I feel like in many ways that is going to make you very attractive to a lot of people. And it's also interesting that we have the Seven of Cups right next to this, because this can talk about being overwhelmed with the amount of options that you have. Like you either don't know which one to pick, or you're kind of worried, like, how do I discern if this is a good fit for me or not? So a couple examples of this. Let's say you're a musician and you post your songs on social media, and then one of your songs just like completely blows up and it has like millions of views and you're getting all these positive comments. Then you start getting flooded with emails from record labels that like they want you to sign with them, and it's overwhelming, right? You're like, all these people want my attention and want a piece of me, and like I don't know who to respond to, and I don't know who has good intentions and who has bad intentions. Another example is, you know, a bunch of people flooding your DMs because they want to date you, you know, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's too many people, I'm overwhelmed, I can't respond to everybody, and also I'm worried. Like there's a feeling of worry or overwhelm with the Seven of Cups, and I think you might be worried about what people's intentions are, especially because all of this attention is coming after a significant accomplishment. So it's like, do you really like me for me? Do you really want me for me? Or is it just because I had this success and like you're trying to get in on it, or you want to lift yourself up for associating with me? It's like we're in high demand, but we have to discern why people want us, or if they just want something from us. So that could be something that is a little bit that's a little bit overwhelming. Or it could just be, it doesn't have to be something so ominous like that, like what if someone has bad intentions. It could also just be that because you have reached this level of success, a lot more doors are open to you, and the more doors, the more strict of a decision you have to make, you know? Maybe you just graduated at the top of your class and like there's like 8 companies that want to hire you. And that's just tough, you know, when you have to, there's a feeling with the Seven of Cups of having to do a process of elimination because you can't pick everything, and having to narrow down your options. And maybe this is all really new to you and you don't even know. I'm also thinking about you know, a YouTuber who's suddenly getting big and now they have brands messaging them like that they want to work with them, and they send over their contract and they're like, I don't even know if this is a good contract. Like, I don't even know if this is a good deal that they're offering me because I don't know how much you're supposed to get paid for these things. And it's just like, it's all a lot of new information coming in because of this really rapid growth, this really rapid success. And I do think you need to be careful with the Five of Coins, because this talks about financial lack. So, or just lack in general, not getting enough. And so there could be situations where people are coming in with offers that are less than what you deserve. Like people who are lowballing you, whether that's offering you less money than what you're truly worth, or like just not a good deal. Like people who are, and I don't like to put people on levels like this, but that frankly you deserve better than them or than what they are offering. So, wow, you're in high demand, lots of people paying attention to you, and there's a lot of offers coming in. With the Hanged Man here, this is a little bit of a, I know passive kind of has a negative connotation, but the Hanged Man is kind of passive because he's just hanging there. And I think there's a couple different meanings to this. There is a feeling of you literally don't have to lift a finger and these offers will be coming in. But also that you don't necessarily have to make any major decisions or any life-changing decisions or accept any offers or reject any offers by the end of this year. There is a feeling that you can wait. You can wait, really do your research, give yourself time, honor your own schedule. You know, not like, oh, I have to respond because this person is waiting for me. Like, no, this is all about you. Honor yourself. Honor however long it takes you to know what the right choice is. Honor what your criteria are, like what would make you feel good about accepting an offer, regardless of, you know, just because someone else is okay with an offer, it doesn't mean you have to be, you know? Like if you got a job offer and you're like, no, that's not enough pay for me. And it's like, well, other people are fine with that amount of money. Like, don't fall into that kind of thing. Like, you know best what you want and what you deserve. And you can take all the time you need. If something is rushing you, then I want to say it's not right for you. The Hanged Man tells you, take the time you need to just reflect and also to get more information. And yeah, just like wait to see how things play out, because this, whatever success you're going through, this is really just the beginning. And maybe some of you guys might feel pressure to act on it quickly because you feel like the moment's gonna fade. Do you know what I mean? Like in the example of the musician, they have all these labels reaching out to them. They might feel pressure to sign with someone quickly because they're like, oh, you know, this song of mine went viral, but in a couple months, people are going to forget all about it, you know, like, and I'm just going to be a one-hit wonder and my moment's going to be over. So I better just pick someone. I better just accept this offer while I'm still popular. Or like, I better date this person who's interested in me because I'm getting to that age. Like, I'm not getting any younger. You know, if there's any feeling of like time constraints and I have to make this choice right now because of time constraints, I do think you are encouraged to not fall for those, essentially, because this attention that you have on you and these offers that are coming your way, like, this is just the beginning. Maybe you have 6 offers coming to you now and you don't really want any of them. Or maybe you have 6 offers coming to you and you want to see what else there is, you know? And that's okay, because a few months down the line, something else will happen and more offers will come your way. You know what I mean? There's no sense of urgency or that, you know, the first offers that come your way are necessarily the best ones. So I think the Hanged Man is just saying, take all the time you need with that. Because you don't want to get sold short, especially for like long-term agreements. Another example that's coming to my mind is, it's a YouTuber again. And like, let's say a brand reaches out to this YouTuber and they're like, we want to sign a contract where you will do 12 videos for us, like 1 per month over the course of a year, and we'll give you this much money for each. And then you sign it, but then 6 months later, your YouTube channel is like twice as big, but you're already like locked in to receive that amount of money from your size that was calculated based on your channel size 6 months ago. You know what I mean? And I guess in this example, you can't renegotiate it. It's like, you know, we're not rushing to lock into anything, you know? This is just the start. This is just the start of us being in high demand. This is just the start of amazing offers coming our way. So there's no rush. Like, let's hang here and let's just wait and see what comes in. Let's just wait. And I know this sounds cheesy, but I think you will really know when it feels right. And I think you don't have to force something to fit. What is this Temperance card talking about? I just want to... Here we go. Let's get a clarifier for this Temperance card because I've been ignoring, I've been ignoring her. Oh, you know what? I just noticed that usually on the Temperance card, these two cups are like pouring into each other. But in this card, it's two cups pouring into the same vessel. Makes me think of like people with a shared mission, people with a common goal that is being watched over by the divine. Ooh. So this is like a possible, it's like a destined connection, like someone you were destined to come together with and work together on a shared mission or a shared project. Like a collaborator soulmate. That's the vibe. Let's get a clarifier though. Oh my gosh. The 10 of Swords. Okay. There is a lot of you, okay, maybe not a lot of you. This might just be specific for a few of you. It seems like there's someone whom you really look up to or that you feel very strongly drawn to, but that you feel like you can't get on their level, or you feel like they are out of your league, or you feel like you are from completely different worlds. And your guides are lovingly saying you have to cut that shit out. I'm just looking at, you know, you are what you think and it's in you. And it's like if you tell yourself that, then that's going to be the reality. If you're like, I could never be on that person's league, or I could never reach the success that that person reaches, it feels like there's someone who inspires you, but like at the same time you might compare yourself to them, or maybe it's someone that you have romantic feelings for, but then you're like, I couldn't be good enough for them. And it's like your guides are just saying, cut that out. Because thinking like that does a disservice to you, and it does a disservice to your connection, and is perhaps standing in the way of what you are meant to do together. Just even these two people together in the constellations. This could be a member of your star family, or like it was written in the stars, it was fated that you should collaborate on something together, but you might not necessarily like recognize your role in that yet, or like recognize that you can be on the same level. There's some ways of thinking, stories that you tell yourself about yourself that just need to be cut out. You might think, I feel like your ego thinks that telling you that you're not good enough, you're not on their level, blah, blah, blah. Your ego's like, thinks it's doing something good because it's like, I'm humbling you, I'm giving you a reality check, but it's doing a disservice to your greater mission, to what you are meant to create. There are just some things that you need to stop, that you need to put an end to so that you can become your best self. And I think one of those is negative self-talk. I'm hearing like, it's not cute. It's not like you're being humble. It's just like mean. It's just mean to yourself. It's a disservice to yourself. And it doesn't benefit anyone else either. And if there's any like narratives you tell yourself where you are made into a victim, I think that needs to stop as well. That's not to say that you haven't been victimized in the past, but that you don't have to continue identifying with that victim role, that you can rise above those things that happen to you. Sometimes it can be hard. Like, I think we need to recognize, like, me moving on from identifying as the victim, it doesn't mean that that person didn't victimize me. Like, they still did something shitty, and I'm allowed to not identify with that anymore and to move on from it and to be happy. That doesn't invalidate the shittiness of what happened to me, even if I choose to move on from it. Does that make any sense? I hope that it does. But I feel like there's a negative self-talk, there's like a self-deprecation, and there's also some kind of like victimhood narrative that just needs to be cut out so that you can be a match to what you were meant to be, and also be a match to your star family. And there's some of you who know who your star family is or who your soul family is, but are maybe struggling with the idea of like really being meant for something with them, or really being like an equal to them. And yeah, it's like, it's very, I know saying like cut it out, it sounds harsh, but your guides are saying it with love. Like, we love you, but this shit has to stop. So yeah, let's get into your angel and loved one messages. So we're gonna start with a message from your angel. What angel is currently working with group number 3 who would like to make themselves known? I forgot to mention this for the other groups, but this deck contains like timing information. So if there's anything you want to ask your angel, like when is X going to happen, you can ask them when something is going to happen, because they'll give you a timing. And if there's any other question, like a yes or no question, or anything that you'd like to ask them, just keep those questions in mind. Oh, okay. Barachial, which is, or Barachial, I don't know, which is number 31. And we have Pisces energy here, which I think I mentioned before as well. We also have Gemini, because I pulled this 10 of Swords. So we have Pisces, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Gemini, Sag. That's a lot, but those are the present signs. The divine angel of blessings. Showers of heavenly love, intercession, good fortune, removes blocks to success. I can help you become a generous channel through which God will pour a fountain of blessings into people's lives. And we have Unakite. This is a beautiful stone that deals with the union of masculine and feminine energy, like divine union. That's very beautiful. We have February. So if you did ask when something was going to happen, we have February coming up. And then if there was another situation that you asked this angel about, she says opportunity awaits. Okay, and next, finally, is the message from your loved one. We're going to use the Spirit Cats Oracle deck for this. So think about your loved one as I'm shuffling. This can be the higher self of someone in your life. It could be a spirit guide. It could be a passed on loved one. Really, whoever you would like a message from. Group number 3's loved one. What would you like group number 3 to know? Aw, he looks so happy. So this is the cat, and her name is Lexi. And your loved one wants to talk to you about synchronicity. Meet Lexi. She passed into our world through the divine nexus of a series of unlikely events. She arrives at the precise moment when she is needed most. As if answering a silent prayer, she appears with a perfect and sweet antidote to our fears and struggles. You will not know when she is coming, but when she arrives, your heart will open, the air will sparkle, and your world will awaken with new life. Coincidence? Maybe. A beautiful mystery? Certainly. Watch for her paw prints as they glimmer and meander through your life. So I think the first thing your loved one wants you to know is that it is no mistake that you are in each other's lives. You definitely chose to incarnate together for a reason. And I think that this person's higher self communicates to you very frequently through signs and synchronicities that you see in your waking life, as well as perhaps in your dreams. If you are the type of person to see frequent signs or angel numbers, but not know what they mean, I do think that it is this loved one who is trying to communicate with you and just trying to send their love to you, honestly. I think that this loved one is also volunteering to aid you in eliminating any negative thoughts or negative self-talk that you might have. This is someone who really wants to open your heart up to love and help you recognize the love that you deserve. So if you're ever feeling like low or not good enough or losing faith, whatever it might be, you can directly reach out to this person. If this is someone incarnate who is like in your life, you can definitely send them a message and reach out whenever you're feeling this way, because they really do want to support you. But you can also reach out to their higher self for assistance in this healing. What a beautiful message. Definitely no mistake that they're in your life and that you feel called to them. So group number 3s, these are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. And of course, I wish you an amazing rest of 2023. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can check out my pick a card readings on Instagram, many of which are timeless. My pick a card readings on Patreon, also timeless and just like these, except for you get to pick the topic. You can check out my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. And you can also check out my latest release linked down below. And finally, I have a vlog channel, KINO Vlogs, and I have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. So all of that stuff is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means a lot to me. And just thank you for being here. Group number 3s, you guys are awesome. You're killing it in the rest of this year. You're doing amazing things. I love to see it. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and lots of love to anyone who may be a part of the rest of your year. And also sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your spiritual team, and your soul family as well, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the Prasiolite, this is going to be a reading all about your rest of 2023. So we are going to start off the reading by taking a look at your current situation, as well as the situation that you will be in at the end of this year. And we're going to sort of compare those two to see how things are changing for you within the rest of this year. And then we are going to get into the tarot to see any other specific events or changes that you should know about. And then at the very end of the reading, we're going to finish off with a message from an angel who is currently working with you, as well as a message from a loved one of your choice. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with your current situation, we have blessed, victory, wellness, health, and self-care, and these are focus areas, and the goddess of air, and it says you are a messenger, so spread the message of love. And then for your end of year situation, we have loyal heart, destiny path. Oh, another focus areas card. This one is spirituality, metaphysics, and philosophy. And then finally, we have, so this would be like the temple of the earth goddess or something to that effect. And it says that the physical is the sacred temple of the soul. Okay, wow, group number 4. It looks like you guys are already in an amazing energy. And from now until the end of 2023, what I see for you guys is not necessarily a change in the sense of like you're going on a different path or you're redirecting. I more just see growth and expansion in the path that you are currently on. I think what your spirit guides really want you to know with this energy is that you are very much on the right path. Some of you guys maybe have just received a big blessing recently, or you have achieved a significant victory recently. If this isn't your current energy yet, it's likely going to be your energy very, very soon. I'm hearing in the next few weeks. And your guides want you to know that you will be able to maintain this positive momentum and build on it for the rest of the year. There's something about a committed relationship here with blessed and loyal heart, because we have the number 22 and we have like these two owls coming together and making a heart shape. So for those of you who are actually, you don't even need to be involved with someone right now or currently have a person of interest. And I'm still seeing that by the end of this year, you will be in some kind of committed, loving partnership. So maybe for those of you who don't have a specific person right now, you will be finding them by the end of this year. And for those of you who do currently have a love interest, you will be in a committed relationship by the end of this year. And then if you're already with someone, it could just be that you're still with them at the end of this year, or perhaps you are ascending to a higher level of commitment with them. But outside of just love and romantic relationships, I think what your guides want you to know with these two cards is that any blessings that you have acquired throughout this year, you will be able to hold on to them. There's a feeling of you're not going to lose anything. Nothing is going to change where you have to like walk away from something that you like. I feel like this is really a time where you get to keep those things that you hold dear. You get to hold on to them. You get to nourish them. You get to watch them grow, which is really sweet. I see you kind of surrounded by the same loved ones and continuing to grow your relationship with them. And any other blessings you've received, I see that at the end of this year, they are still in your hands. You're still loving them. Like no one has had a change of heart is also something important. So, and actually this is a bit of a different energy from some other groups, but like, let's say you started a new job and you're really liking it. This is showing that it's going to be smooth sailing all through the end of the year. So when you get to December 31st, you're still in that job and you're still loving it, and you're only like falling in love with your blessings more and more as we approach the end of the year. I feel like you're in a really good place where there's not a lot of, advice in terms of you need to make a tweak here, or you should maybe redirect your path here. It's like, stay what you're doing. That's not how you say it. Stay doing what you're doing. Stay going where you're going. Like, it's a beautiful energy that you're in, and let's just let this grow. I also see that there is some victory in an area of your life that you have been working on, and your guides want you to know that this is actually connected to your life purpose and your destined path, which some of you guys maybe knew already. But I think for a lot of you, the career that you are currently pursuing, or that the one that you desire to pursue, it is a part of your life purpose. But with that being said, I feel like there are very many ways to live out your life purpose. This card says, I believe this says like all is one. And something about that just makes me think that you do have a life purpose, but there's very many ways to get to it. And so what you're currently pursuing is just one of those ways. And I think it happens to be a way that will make you very happy. You know, so keep doing what you're doing. If you don't feel like you're in this victorious energy yet, I do think that you will, again, feel this very soon in the next couple of weeks. Moving on to these focus areas, we have you for your current energy as focusing on wellness, health, and self-care. And towards the end of the year, you'll be focusing on spirituality, metaphysics, and philosophy. So I guess what I could say from these two cards is that at the end of this year, you may be more focused on like bigger picture things or more abstract things. Maybe now you're more focused on you and taking care of yourself, which is super, super important. And maybe once you have that down, you will move on to more bigger picture things. Or it could be that the study of spirituality and the study of metaphysics, philosophy, the study of these more abstract things is in some way like an important ingredient to your self-care and to your well-being. Maybe it brings you comfort because it reminds you of this truth that we are all one and everything is one. Maybe learning about the design of the universe, it moves you in how beautiful it is and how it's all built on this foundation of love. And maybe that makes you feel more safe, or maybe that makes you feel hopeful. Maybe it gives you a sense of purpose. These two can definitely tie in, like as you deepen your spiritual knowledge and as you advance on your spiritual journey, it also helps you discover how to take better care of yourself, or it just overall like amplifies your well-being. And I really love to see these because there's a lot of different like focus area cards in this deck. And these ones are just so positive and wholesome. It looks like throughout the rest of this year, your focus is really on positive things, which is awesome. Like, especially if you have been someone who struggles with negative thoughts and kind of like falling back to those negative patterns, it seems like your mind, your brain is in a very good place for the rest of this year. And I don't really see any messages of like, it's time to do shadow work, it's time to address this thing that is not working. It's I really don't see anything of concern in these cards, which is amazing. Like, you guys are just in a really good place, you know? And I think that you're going to ride this positive wave for the rest of the year. Life is life, and sure, there may be challenges somewhere along the road, but I do feel like the rest of 2023 for you guys is smooth sailing. And then over here, we have the Goddess of Air, and we have, oh, you have the Goddess of Air with you and the Goddess of Earth with you, actually. Which, generally when I see air, an air card followed by an earth card, it makes me think of transforming our thoughts and ideas into something tangible. So by the end of this year, you could also be manifesting something big, you know, that right now it's just a thought, it's just an idea, and by the end of this year, it's going to be something tangible. This could also be you like birthing a creative idea by the end of this year, especially those things that are still kind of like an abstract, half-baked idea. You're actually like getting it out into something tangible. So maybe you have an idea for like a book you want to write, and it's still very much just in your head. You're like, I think I want the main character to be like a teenage boy, and then it turns out that he's a superhero. I'm just making random stuff up, obviously, but you're like, I don't really know what I want his main like conflict to be, and I haven't really figured out the whole story. Like, things that are still kind of swirling around in your head. I feel like by the end of this year, there's going to be some like tangible product of it. So maybe you will have your first draft by the end of this year, or maybe you like you want to travel Europe, but like it's not really firmly planned yet. And then by the end of this year, you have the physical plane ticket and you're like, okay, we're getting somewhere. This is, you're starting to see signs of your ideas actually manifesting. You may not have the whole plan like completely mapped out. It may not all be completely finished, but you can at least see tangible proof that like, oh, this idea is happening, you know? So like big swirly plans are becoming a little bit more tangible, to put it that way. I just noticed too, we have a doubling happening here, because 1734 is double of 17. So this could actually be telling you that whatever you're manifesting, it's going to be like twice as good as what you imagined in your head, or twice as much as what you imagined. So if you were thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna write a cute little short novel, maybe like 100 pages, then maybe it's gonna end up being 200 pages. Or you're like, I'm gonna travel Europe, maybe I'll go to like 2 countries, and then you go to 4 countries. It's like that kind of vibe. Just it ends up being a lot more once you get the ball rolling, in a positive way, of course. And we also have this message of spreading love and of the physical being your sacred temple. You could be cultivating a strong love for your physical vessel during the rest of this year. Loving your body, in the sense of like what it looks like, but maybe also just being more appreciative, more mindfully appreciative of your body in your day-to-day, for everything that it does for you, or even just the concept of having a physical body and of being in this physical earth. That might be something that you're like gaining a lot more, what am I trying to say? More peace around it, or more of an appreciation around it. Like you're really starting to feel even an awe for this physical world that surrounds you. You could be working on grounding for the rest of this year as well, connecting more to the earth, connecting more to your physical surroundings. You could be spending more time in nature, because when I think of like the temple or the kingdom, the palace, whatever, of the earth goddess, I think of the planet, you know? So connecting to the planet, connecting to nature could be something that you're doing for the rest of this year. And also coming up with like a concrete plan of how to execute your life purpose, or what's the best way for you to do your light work. Things are shaping up in you aligning with your life purpose. And actually, if I put these two together, this is a great message for those of you who have like a rough idea of what your calling is. Like, I know I'm supposed to help people, or like, I know I'm supposed to heal people. I know I'm supposed to protect the planet, whatever it might be, but I'm not really sure like how to go about it, or what exact profession I want, or what exact approach I want to take. I feel like those abstract ideas are going to become a lot more clear by the end of this year, so that it will be very clear to you what concrete steps you need to take to make it happen. So let's move into the tarot now to see any other specific events or changes that you should know about. What else does group number 4 need to know for the rest of 2023? We have 2 cards coming out together. Oh, the Page of Cups and the 10 of Cups. Beautiful. Then we have the 2 of Cups. Oh my goodness. The Knight of Wands, which that also came out for, I don't remember, but it came out for a different group. Oh no, that's not the Knight of Wands. It's the Knight of Swords. My apologies. That is the Knight of Swords. So that's the first time we're seeing this one. And then we have the 10 of Wands. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the 7 of Wands. So the Seven of Wands definitely gives me a feeling of keep going with what you're currently working on, keep doing with what you're doing. But with the Seven of Wands, there's a feeling of needing to protect what is valuable to you. Like to not let anything like get to it, or I want to say corrupt it. So for some of you intuitively, I'm feeling that this may be trying to tell you to keep some things to yourself in terms of your dreams, in terms of your desires, almost like to not let it get tainted by other people's vision, other people's pessimism. So, for example, let's say you've been doing a lot of thinking and now you have a very clear idea of what career you want to pursue. I think it's very okay to share our plans with other people. Like that's not inherently a bad thing. It's just that in your particular case, I think your guides are kind of warning that if you start to share your plan with all kinds of different people, they might just start unsolicitedly giving their own 2 cents of like, oh yeah, and maybe you should do this and this and this, and just kind of like tainting your original idea. Or you might be met with, are you sure you can do that? Is that really a real job? Or like I heard, just people's opinions that can often be pessimistic and that you didn't ask for. They could just get in the way, or get in the way of like the integrity of your original idea. And there's just something, at least at this point in your journey, at least for the rest of the year, to keep some things to yourself, some things that you are trying to manifest, or the ideas for your next project, or for the next step in your career. Also, I'm starting to like collaborating. I've like challenged myself to collaborate, and it's actually proven to be a very rewarding experience. Even though I had kind of labeled myself as someone who prefers to work alone, I've kind of challenged that and shown myself that collaboration can be super awesome. Very eye-opening, and helps you to become a more well-rounded creator and a more diverse creator. But for anything that you guys are currently working on, or any ideas you currently have, I feel like this might be a solo project, because it's like this particular work just needs to be you. It needs to be purely you for some reason. And I'm also being called to remind you that progress that we make in our spiritual journey, or in our well-being, in our healing, it takes consistent effort. It's not like we go from unhealed to healed and then that's just it. We have to keep maintaining it. We have to keep upholding it. So let's say you're working on healing, just to keep it simple. Like let's say you're working on healing insecurities about your appearance. It's not like this black and white thing where I'm insecure about my appearance, I did the healing work, and now I'm confident in my appearance. It's like you have to kind of keep doing the work. So, because the Seven of Wands, it's about like defending yourself, continuing to fight against anything that would seek to hurt you, or what matters to you, or the progress that you've made. So it's like, okay, this is a good analogy. It's like if someone had like a condition and they have to take medication for it, and then they're like, oh, well, I stopped taking the medication because I stopped feeling the symptoms. It's like, but you stop feeling the symptoms because you're on the medication. You know what I mean? Like if you go off it, then the symptoms are going to come back. It's like, that's just one analogy to kind of illustrate this energy. It's like, oh, I stopped, I stopped doing my work on myself because I felt better. And it's like, but the work is what's making you feel good. It's like that kind of thing. I hope that was a good analogy, but you will do work on yourself and you will start to feel better. But just remember that it takes like maintenance work. So for that person who's starting to feel better in their appearance, just remember to continue your positive affirmations, to continue, actively unfollowing or disengaging from things that mess with your self-esteem, to keep rejecting society's beauty standards or whatever it might be. Like just keep those maintenance works in place for like things that you have been cultivating within yourself. Same thing with my anxiety. I think I've significantly improved it, but that doesn't mean I can go like start drinking coffee and eating sugar all the time and getting bad sleep. Like, oh, well, I thought it would be fine now because like I healed my anxiety. Like, no, that's not how it works. That's just an example, right? But anyway, I think you guys get the picture. Maintenance is important, and it's like a lifelong commitment to yourself. And maybe that's what this loyal heart is talking about, like a commitment to yourself. But what I will say, we have the Two of Cups, we have the Ten of Cups, love, also love, new relationship, soulmates, happily ever after. There is a big sign here. Also this number 22 on the Blessed card. This is like love is in the air, straight up. If you're not with your soulmate already, you will very likely be with them by the end of this year. Like your person, your forever person, your life partner, your ultimate soulmate. Like you have the Two of Cups and the freaking Ten of Cups. With the Page of Cups and Ten of Cups here as well, this could be indicating children for some of you. I think that if you were going to have a child by the end of 2023, you would already know. But there could be, a child could be being conceived by the end of this year, or an announcement within your family that a child is being born could also be something that is happening. Or we just could be welcoming a new little one into our home, whether that is a human or an animal. The Page of Cups just make me think of a sweet, adorable, pure little one that just brings so much love and joy into the home. So whether that's a human or not, I don't know. But I feel like there's a lot of love in your home. The Ten of Cups also makes me think of a happy home life, a happy family life. I do think you will have your ideal living situation by the end of this year, or your living situation will significantly improve. For some of you, that means being in a physical environment that brings you more peace. For some of you, that could be living with who you want to live with. You know, the ideal person that you would love to live with. Whether that's your partner, your family, or just a hypothetical ideal roommate. Or if your ideal living situation is living alone, then your guides are saying that can also be arranged. But yeah, love is definitely in the air. For those of you who are looking for love, looking for your soulmate, huge signs that is going to be happening by the end of this year. The Two of Cups is like a beautiful, reciprocated, loving connection. We have the Mars and Venus on this card as well. So it feels like the union of a divine masculine and divine feminine energy. Beautiful. I am smelling, I don't know what that is, but it's some kind of hygiene product. Like maybe soap or skincare. That could be coming up because we're finding products that we like at some point in the rest of this year, finding products that work for us. If you have kind of stubborn like hair or skin, or if you're picky with your products, You could be finding something that really works for you. Or your partner or your person could use something that you really, really like the smell of. Like the smell of their shampoo just makes you like want to sniff all their hair up. Like the smell of their perfume or something. Because it was like a really nice, clean, fresh kind of smell that just came to me. Interesting. Then we have the Knight of Swords. And we have the Ten of Wands. You are coming up with, for some of you, this is indicating that you are coming up with a clever solution to make your work more efficient so that you can save time and energy. For others of you, I think this is talking about you speaking up in areas of your life where you feel overworked or overwhelmed. But essentially, the combination of these two cards is like we're using our ideas or using our words to prevent overwork and to prevent burnout. So if there's any part of the work that you do, like housework or your professional work, or if there's a part of your routine that you just feel is so like tedious or it's just really, really hard for you, I think you will be finding a way to make that process easier and faster for you, whether that's through technology or some other kind of gadget, or just you find a more efficient way of doing it, or maybe you delegate some of the work to someone else. Just like chores or tasks that you have to do that really, really make you tired, maybe even more so than the average person, quote unquote, that's going to get a lot easier for you. Or again, this could also be interpreted as if there's any area of your life where you feel overwhelmed or overworked, then I feel like you will be able to speak up. So maybe you have a boss who unknowingly, like, I feel like they're not trying, they don't have bad intentions, but maybe they just like dump too much work on you. Maybe they don't really understand, or even clients, like it's like a boss or a client who doesn't really understand or appreciate how much time and effort goes into the work that you do, that they're like, oh yeah, if you can just make those changes by tomorrow, that would be great. And they think that they're making a reasonable request because they just don't really understand, like, no, that actually takes a lot of effort. It's not so simple as what you're thinking. I get why you would think it's like a quick fix, but it's actually not that simple. Or like a boss or a client that's messaging you outside of your hours, just like any way that you feel a boundary is kind of being overstepped and you're being asked to do more than you signed up for, or more than you can handle, or more than you want to do. I think you are going to be able to like have a direct conversation with whoever is contributing to that, and, you know, get some of that pressure off of you. You know, like, nope, that's actually a lot of work, I need more time. Or that's actually a lot of work, can you ask someone else to help as well? Or that's a lot of work, I'm gonna need more money for that. Whatever it is, like, it's gonna be solved. Anything where you feel you're working too much, or working so much for little output, or you just feel like it's overwhelming, it's a lot of work, will be cleared away. That's what I see with these two cards, which is lovely. So, also, like, even within your relationship, like if I put all of these together, Ten of Wands, I've also seen it as a one-sided relationship, or just things feeling one-sided. So this could also be indicating improved communication within your relationships in general, or improved communication with your partner, with your person, where you're able to speak up more if you feel like the energy exchange is not flowing evenly. You know, when maybe you feel kind of left out by your person or unappreciated by your person, or you feel like a lot of the burden has fallen on you in those times, I feel like you'll be able to talk it through and work things out with clear communication. Yes, so let's move on to your angel message. So we're going to see what angel is currently working with you that has a message for you right now. And I do want to mention these cards have timing predictions on them. So if there's anything that you would like to ask your angel about in terms of when something is happening, you can ask them. And if there's anything else you want to know, like a yes or no question or just any other question, you can ask them that too. So let's see what angel is here for you. Ooh, Archangel Michael, nice. Number 1. Defender and protector of Earth. And we have, I forgot to mention, I'm forgetting to mention the zodiac signs a lot during this reading. I will mention them. They could be your placements, or if you know someone who has these placements, then that could be an indication that they're going to play a significant role in the rest of your 2023. But we have Leo again, Sagittarius, Cancer, and Pisces. Leo, Sagittarius, Cancer, Pisces. Yes. Okay, Michael. Hello. Defender and protector of Earth. Reveals truth, restores faith, reassurance, strength, courage, resolve, cutting cords. Call on me when you feel afraid, lonely, in despair, or are in need of courage and protection. And then we have Sapphire. Is Sapphire a birthstone? I don't know if this is real, but apparently blue sapphire is one of my birthstones, and I'm an April baby, so yeah, but I don't know if it's a birthstone or something else. But sapphire could be significant. We have Sunday, so if you asked for a timing prediction, something could be happening next Sunday, like this coming Sunday, or on a Sunday. Also, Sunday, the sun is related to Leo season. So for a more long-term timing prediction, Leo season could be significant, which is late July to late August. As well as any unit of time, like 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. And then if you asked Archangel Michael any other question, the answer is trust. Okay, and then finally we are gonna get, wow, the skies look really similar on these two cards. Okay, finally the message from your loved one. So this loved one can be anyone. It can be the higher self of someone in your life. It can be a spirit guide, a passed on loved one, really anyone that you would like to hear from. Just keep them in your mind as I'm shuffling. And we're going to use the Spirit Cats Oracle deck for their message to you. Group number 4's loved one. What would you like group number 4 to know? So this is the cat, and her name is Ember, and your loved one is bringing you a message of passion. Meet Ember. She is the light blazing inside our being. She is our fire, our drive, our fuel. She is our very life force, yearning and stretching in the direction of our love. Notice what makes Ember begin to glow and burn brighter. Perhaps it is talking openly with a friend, or cuddling with your love, or perhaps it's playing your guitar, scaling a mountain, or writing your story. Look for that spark within and honor it. Stoke that fire with intention. Honor your passion with time and dedication. Feed that flame with devotion. Let passion ignite your life with beauty, energy, and purpose. So their message to you is to always follow your passion, to always follow what lights that fire in you. They could also be telling you that they have a lot of passion towards you, that they have a lot of love towards you. If this is a romantic interest, I don't mean to make it awkward if it's not, but it could be indicating sort of like a burning desire that they have for you. If not, please just claim this message as this person having a lot of love for you and wanting to see you live a life that makes you passionate. I think that when this loved one sees you passionate and sees you lit up, that makes them really happy and that makes them really proud. They're definitely watching you, not in a creepy way, but they're definitely like watching over you or watching to cheer you on. And following your passion could also help to bring you closer to this loved one, to feel their energy more. It's almost like how you feel when you are doing things that make you passionate, like just that pure light that you feel is very similar to how you feel when you're with them, or how you feel when you're feeling their energy. Like you ignite passion in each other. Okay, so group number 4 is those are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this. And of course, I wish you an amazing rest of 2023. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And if you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find my pick a card readings on Instagram, many of which are timeless. My pick a card videos on Patreon, also timeless, and just like these ones, except for you guys get to pick the topic. You can check out my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. And you can also check out my latest release, link down below. And finally, I have a vlog channel, KINO Vlogs, and I have merch at kinotarot.com, and that features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. So all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It means so much to me. Group number 4, thank you for being here, and I'm sending lots of love to you, to your love, to your spirit guides, your guardian angels, Archangel Michael, we love you, and to your higher self and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.